had this topic on the rundown, and then I saw you talking about it on your IG story. I'm like, all right, let me bring him on here to have him on here for a little bit and talk about this for people who've been living under a rock. Mr. Anthony Edwards himself. He's on a high right now after winning that gold medal. I don't have a quote that he said, but I remember what he said. He said that he said, I didn't watch it, which is hilarious. He put that out there. I didn't watch it. But if you look at the 80s and the 90s, the only athletic people around who had skill was Michael Jordan. This got a lot of the old heads offended. Isaiah Thomas came out on his Twitter, said, let it be known, we can play in any era. Basically tell him, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Don't do too much in typical West Side nigga fashion. And then Mr. Magic Johnson, Magic, who always smiles, Magic always happy. If I was that rich and survived AIDS, I'll be that happy too, nigga. He said I don't know if it was on a talk show, whatever.
It was at InvestFest.
It was InvestFest. That's what it was. He said they asked him about it. And he said, and I quote, I never responded to a guy that's never won a championship. He didn't win a college championship. I don't even know if he won a high school championship. And he said it with a very serious face. Before I give my takes on it, I'm gonna give it to Illy first. I know you went on a little rant about this on your IG story. Tell me what you feel about this.
Yeah. Well, just to expound upon what I was talking about on my IG story, at the end of the day, man, 2 points is 2 points. And as fancy as it looks, a double euro, this, that, and the other, you're either scoring 3 points or you're scoring 2 points. I mean, at the end of the day, different players could play in different eras, but to say it's left athletic and left skilled, if Ray Allen, if Reggie Miller, if Mark Price could shoot 14 and 15 threes a game, you don't think they would shoot them at a high clip and be putting up numbers like that? Of course. And then also at the end of the day, like I was saying, the emphasis on these basketball players' IQs is very low. And at the end, in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, it's not a lot of them who can really go get a bucket like on a consistent basis. So that's really what it boils down to. So your athleticism and skill and all this hoopla, that's cool. But when the team needs you, when it's time to perform and go 4 for 5 in the fourth, can you do that? I don't really see that amongst the younger generation right now. And that's really what it all boils down to. So knowing the game and knowing basketball at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter how athletic, how skilled you are. I mean, also what I was saying, TJ McConnell been busting ass, was busting ass all playoffs. He could be considered a plumber in the 80s, in the 90s, and he'd be killing because his basketball IQ is such at a high clip. You can't stop him if you don't know how to play actual basketball. So that's what I feel like the younger generation has been lacking for a long time, and they say stuff like that because again they don't got the type of basketball IQ to not say stuff like that. So it is what it is, though, man. That's my take on it. It's a foolish conversation to have. Very foolish.
Very foolish conversation to have. I want to go to Bang next. I know Bang be really going off on these topics. What you think about the comment and just like generation on generation conversation?
Man, at some point you got to respect the OGs, fam. And I think this was just flat out disrespectful. My man out here feeling himself because he had a good playoffs. He feeling himself because he got a gold medal, and you say something stupid like this. First off, Illy is right. He's right to the point that I said this on some dude, and we've said this here. We've said it mostly about the NFL and talked about quarterbacks. But you can relate this to the NFL, to the NBA too. Where's that second or third tier player group in the NBA? Like if TJ McConnell is in that list,
where are the role players?
Like where's the role players? Where are the wily veterans? It's barely even vets in the NBA now. So there's that piece. That's the main reason why, honestly, Anthony Edwards was wrong, because the second, third, and fourth tier of NBA players are better than the ones there now. Like we knew who the bench players was, like more than the sixth man was. We knew that dude, that specialist that just came off the bench that'll torch your ass for the three. So that's one. Two, I'm more actually with this shit. I'm actually more mad at the OG NBA players of this day by not putting their arm around and saying, "All right, fam, you gotta chill." That's what I'm mad at. When you hear something as stupid as that, where's LeBron at? LeBron be on Twitter about everything else. Well, LeBron that to be like, "All right, young fella, we tripping now. I feel you. I know what you're trying to say, but nah, like we going too far." KD will go back and forth with anybody on Twitter that just mentions his name but not tag him. Where was he at to tell Ant, "Yo, fam, you tripping"? These are the worst set of NBA vets I have ever seen in my life. Because back in the day, if somebody said anything wrong about Wilt Chamberlain, they said anything wrong about Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, and all of the vets of their time, like the ones that they looked up to, Dr. J, David Thompson, George Gervin, if they said something about any of those, the vets of that time will be like, "All right, y'all tripping. These are some of the GOATs. They paved the way for us. Hey, if you want to big us up, that's cool, but you ain't got to do anything like that." That's the reason why Anthony Edwards could feel like he could say the shit that he's saying, simply because who gonna check him? Who in the NBA right now gonna put their arm around him and be like, "All right, fam, you tripping"? Ain't nobody gonna do it. Nobody gonna do it. So that's why we continue, especially in the NBA, because in the NFL, they don't do that shit. In the NFL, they're, "Hey, yo, you tripping, young fella." Yeah. In the NBA, though, now you say something about the OG, like there's Instagram pages right now of niggas saying that Michael Jordan was Huff. Like not even Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. No, there are people who go on social just to say Michael Jordan is Huff. He ain't got no right hand. He ain't got no left hand. He can't do this. He can't do that. I am tired of shit going unchecked by these niggas that's supposed to be the people that these kids are looking up to. Steph, KD, LeBron, James, all y'all niggas are allowing this shit from these young niggas. And the funny part about it is when Anthony Edwards is the wild vet and he's in his 10th year, Marsh is going to be around here talking about some Cooper Flag is better than anybody. And they're going to be disrespecting LeBron, KD, Steph, and all of those people. It happens. But you need the OGs of this time to check them. And I am tired of people in the NBA not checking these folks for the dumbass takes that they throw out there, when at the end of the day, this shit's supposed to be a brotherhood. So like, nah, y'all tripping.
Crowd is on fire today.
Like y'all, hey, look, man. Alex just mad because the only Puerto Rican nigga that ever did anything in his basketball life is Carlos Arroyo, nigga.
We got the homie Mari joining us right now. Mari, what's going on, brother?
What up, though, man? What's going on?
Long time no see.
What's going on? Yeah, you know.
Hey, real quick.
What up?
Orlando, since you're talking about Reggie Theus, Reggie Theus don't like me.
Yeah, I know. That's that story on Summer Sessions.
Yeah.
You know Reggie Theus inspired Dom Kennedy. Dom Kennedy. You heard the song? What he said, this money shit was forced on us when Reggie Theus pulled up in the Porsche on us.
But wait a minute, Scott, I have an update to that story real quick.
Okay.
So my man who was with me at the game while I was talking shit to Reggie Theus when the Bulls played Sacramento, Reggie Theus saw him and said, "Hey, man, weren't you that kid that was with that dude that was talking shit to me during the Bulls game?" I was like, "Man, he remembered that shit." He was like, "Yo, he remembered me. He remembered you. I'm just driving the airport bus, my nigga." And he said something. So, yeah, shouts out to Reggie Theus, man.
A lot of people don't know that Michael Jordan's original wife was originally with Reggie Theus before. That's an old school Chicago nigga fact right there. A lot of niggas don't know. But I'm gonna let Maury take the floor on this topic, then I'll go to mine, and then we'll wrap this topic up. But we were talking about the Magic Johnson.
Y'all ain't got nobody in NBA fan. Yeah. Rafael Arulo, nigga.
Who's my man who played for the Warriors in Dallas? Eduardo Nahara, was he Mexican?
We talking about Mexicans?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Eduardo
They got Devin Booker.
Nahara
They got
was good
Devin
money.
Booker.
Yeah, right. You got D Book.
Nah,
Devin Booker, Mexican.
You got D Book. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Mexican Jordan. Nigga.
Yeah, I forgot. Devin Booker woke up one day and said, "I'm Mexican and I'm from Detroit." Like, I forgot he came with that all in one time. But Mariana, we were talking about, you know, the comments that, you know, Anthony Edwards made about, you know, Michael Jordan being the only one from the era having skill, and Magic Johnson just pulling his card. What do you think about that comment? And just overall, is it toxic to have these generation on generation conversations?
Absolutely, it is. But I mean, it happens all the time. Like I think what's going on is like we're seeing what it looks like and like what it feels like. You remember when we was coming up and we like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit about no 70s, no 80s. This is what it is right now, and like that's just what it looks like now. So like we done got old enough to be like, oh damn, these boys growing up and they telling us the same shit about our greats and all that. As a Michael Jordan advocate, part of me has no problem with what he said because I'm just biased like that. But I mean, he's wrong, obviously. Like Ant was bugging saying that. But he also said he didn't watch, so he can't speak on it. And then he continued to speak on it. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it is what it is. You know, you take it for what it's worth. If you love Ant, you got to take, you know, all that comes with it. But Magic, man, when I saw Magic react to it, I was like, God damn, bro. Like he's always like super positive. Both teams play hard. I want everybody to win. That shit, you know, he take basketball serious. Like if it's one thing he going, you know, get up in arms about, it's going to be that shit, bro. Like when he starts talking about hoop, he going to take it there every time. I'm glad he said what he said, just to kind of, that's at the cookout when, you know, the young boy trying to, you know, get a little too ahead of themselves, and the got to show him a little bit, they got to push him a little bit harder and be like, hey, nah, I don't care your aunt right there. I'll do something. You know what I'm saying? Like shit we can end this shit real quick. So I mean, I wasn't mad at it, you know.
I think for me, man, I look at it like this. I think that generation on generation talk is some of the lowest forms of common, you know, communication you can have. Yeah. You know, in the words of Tony Soprano, remember when is the lowest form of communication. I kind of feel like I feel like if you're a great player, whether you're in this era or that era, great players can play with any other era. We always talk about, they weren't shooting threes. Yeah, because the game was different. The rules were different. Michael Jordan, them niggas played in the era when niggas was drinking beer after the game. Like if Michael Jordan, imagine Blair Bird was able to shoot 8 to 10 threes a game. Like, do you know how much more disrespectful he would be? Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't care how high niggas jump. They're not blocking that hook shot. It's just not gonna happen. Isaiah Thomas, as much as I don't like the nigga, he could be a really good. He be good. Chris Paul can dominate. What do you think Isaiah Thomas can do? You know what I'm saying? Like Magic Johnson was 6'9", bro. He's 6'9". We always, you know, talk about how tall LeBron is. He was the same thing, bro. And so when you do stuff like that, it really kind of shows your, you know, how much you don't know the game. And like you said, Bang, this don't happen in other leagues. We don't ever hear this in the NFL. We don't hear this in Major League Baseball. You know what I'm saying? It's more with just the NBA. And I understand with NBA Twitter and the way people talk is crazy. And I'm going to shoot Anson Bell. He's young. Ant, 23 years old. And he did a nigga, you know, disclaimer out there. I didn't watch. But I understand why Magic reacted the way he did. If somebody kept telling you your air was huff, you feel the same way. In a minute, you see how Wembanyama look. We're going to be looking at who LeBron played with, like that nigga was playing against plumbers. By how freakish this dude. Like, if there's anything I got from the Olympics is, nigga, y'all better win now while y'all can. Like, he even gets a decent, I think they're going to win 40 games this year.
Nigga had that nigga crying, fam. That man was crying and was like, yo.
That was the scariest shit from the whole Olympics to me, because I was like, damn, bro, the next Olympics go round, it ain't gonna be like this.
Hey, man, look, I'll hot take it right now, yo. We ain't gonna win a gold medal for the next 3 Olympics, G. That's just a wrap.
And this, I know that this was scary. They asked him, what was you crying about? He said, I was crying for the league. Like, my nigga. He said, I'm crying because I'm finna beat y'all. Like, that just shows, like, the elevation. Like, if you'd have told me when KD got drafted, I was about to start my first year of college. You'd have told me there'd been somebody that nigga height who can shoot like him with better handles and like
video game shit.
He can't even legally drink. He can block shots. I'd be like, get out of here. Like, it's just evolution of the sport.
Gee, these are the NBA 2K kids.
Yeah.
These are the niggas who look. when people say stuff about Paul George, here's why I don't trip. Because Paul George came into the league 6'9", and you went on NBA 2K and was like, I'm going to make me a guard that's 6'9". And this guard is going to be able to dribble. This guard is going to be able to shoot. This guard is going to be able to play in the post. This guard is going to be able to play on the wing. You made a small forward that was 6'9". Guess what these players are? They are all Paul George or taller versions of the NBA 2K characters that y'all created. That's why when folks be like, no, Paul George is one of my favorite players, because you went and created that dude on 2K. And you got all of your VC points, and you got you some gym shoes, you got you some jerseys, you got you some socks, some stand socks of the league. You got all of that stuff. And those same dudes went and was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the court and do that same thing. So all of these big ass niggas that's out here dribbling and shooting stuff, yeah, they are all Paul George kids. And that's why Paul George is like, yo, hey, man, I'm happy. These all my kids.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not